I think Exalt and I think it was Clear moving away from their kind of like fragging roles. Exalt still on his initiator role where he does get so much impact. But Clear, he's playing controller over the Jet, which is kind of reminiscent of to the way that Cloud9 had Leaf, where Leaf was playing Viper and KJ instead of Jet and Arrays, which we knew him to be. But Clear has been one of those kind of versatile players, posting up really good numbers as a rookie and a player that really nobody knew beforehand.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't really seen too many star performances from Oxygen, but I mean, Disguised yesterday, I think everyone popped off at some point. Exalt is on fire, Clear on fire, even though he's playing multiple different types of agents. Gangsta, I mean, I think you have this specific number, but he is one of the highest KD diffs in the entire tournament.
Yeah, maybe outside of like his ex-teammate Scuba on Oxygen, and of course, Brock over on Team Breakthrough. He's at a plus 76 this event. Woo. So there have been some fraggers coming out from Disguise and Oxygen. And I think for Disguise, we're looking at Scuba with a plus 84 this event. So with the stakes set, and with both of these teams, two teams that I felt a lot of people, at least on Twitter, were saying these are the two teams that are qualifying. Both are in a qualification match spot in the upper bracket where there is a chance in the lower. But similar to last match, this is as good as it gets of an opportunity.
Slow to begin, but it's going to be an empty A side, at least in theory. There's 3 players in short, ready to watch this cross, but they have almost full Astra util here. They're going to have 3 stars to use. They're going to have at least a cross to take, but Oxygen, it's going to be one big retake if this goes down.
And a straight walk on Oxygen. We're prepared for some kind of fast mid-split from Disguise. Inferno just checking over his shoulder is going to be good to find one. Still art control is going to be maintained. And he hasn't dropped a single star. He's going to give himself for the retake 3 stars to play with.
Spike? Okay, Steel all the way in the back was looking for a bit of space. Could have potentially gotten a random one, but Clear. Coming in from the back, only able to get one, but now has control of short, might fight against the Sage, and actually spots the slow orb from Pony. Pony got a big kill, deeper into short. Disguise, they're fighting so deep into the spawn of Oxygen again. Disguise are just trying everything that's cheeky to get some sort of advantage, but it's not happening. One-man advantage, Gangsta going down low, but doesn't die. Randy Savage coming in, gets headshotted. Gangsta with a cross, able to get one out of it, and the crossfire is good, but Scuba now, 1v3, 35 HP remaining, needs a headshot onto Clear, but Clear gets the body shot and able to barely take Disguise through the pistol.
And Disguise slow walking their way into site. Steel, you question it, he goes deep in towards spawn with the spike, but I think it's because of the fact there's no information. Where could these players be? Has to check, wants a free pick for the trade. And Disguise, they do pull it off, coming down to a one-on-one. Scuba and Mitch with a lovely snakebite and fade combination over towards Dugout. I mean, we're seeing little kind of nuances from both these sides in terms of the way they're going to play and the little micro decisions that are being made as Oxygen. They're just going to be on pistols here. And again, a team that has been so hot the past couple of months. It'd be great to find this like anti-eco round, but it is really just classic. So I think the Skies are, again, taking things slow as Steel loves to call. He's just going to welcome any aggression.
Playing this type of round really well. We're going to see a lot of that. A lot of that cautionary calling. Calculated calling, at least. Oxygen. No actual contacts in the mid of B here.
Yeah, Randy Savage.
See a full exec already from Disguised.
Alone, all the way back and towards spawn, and he's not really going to have much say. I think, for me at least, yesterday, he was underwhelming in his performance. Had some good moments, but they come in kind of flashes and goes, and now the rest of his team is going to be grouped up. It's feeling like this is Oxygen looking for kind of exits, and Verno spearheading this area over towards main, where one of the rookie players in a big match has stepped up huge for his team, and well, he goes for the first swing, doesn't really find much, but that will force at least Ziff to back away. And they're actually doing a good job. Oxygen trapping these players in the middle of sight. This is a lot of collateral damage if they're able to get them.
They're going to try the defuse.
So say swear. Say swear he takes it.
Oh, the Nano Swarm takes him away. He would have barely had a chance for it. A couple milliseconds left on the clock. But almost had a chance to get the defuse. Disguise escape with 3+ players, but did they invest any other rifles? It seems like it. Steel is down real low.
And McClear does pick up the Vandal, so I think things will be fine for the time being. Full bonus coming out from Disguised, as both Exalt and Steel will elect to use the Sheriffs. And now, here's Oxygen. Setting up their default for this first rifle round. With these last 2 rounds of Disguised playing kind of exceptionally slow. This turret going out from mid for Zip to make this contact. This is how they're going to work this mid side, is early contact to see if anyone peeks out. I think it'll be a late work in as well, which seems to be the case from Gangsta.
Just gonna hold on to it though because it's Disguised. They are walking up mid, but they had two smokes to at least maybe cover up some of this utility. But the KJ util 100% is gonna hit. The alarm bot hasn't even gone off yet, and they still use the nanoswarm, and that is just perfect.
I really feel
pin Scuba.
This is an instance where Disguise see that one-way Viper's orb, and they don't expect anyone to. Oh my gosh, clear. But as I was saying, they don't expect anything to be in towards that B link, so they kind of just rush through. Don't expect any util off of the one-way. Expect a player there, but Steel lurking over towards A finds another free pick, and that's going to be the site giving up. 3-on-4 retaking with the rifles. Oxygen are at a man disadvantage, and now Steel's picked up another, so it's 4 rifles in their hand of Disguise.
Yeah, reminder, we're looking at a round where we saw 2 SMGs and 2 pistols from Disguised. Oxygen. It's a big round for them to get back into this game. They have the guns, put in all the economy, but here comes the actual approach. Randy Savage is on the front lines. Might face on a bit of a crossfire, but this is even more cheeky. Steel around the corner, has a nanoswarm in front of him to even use too, and even swings out to try to take Randy Savage. They have no idea where Gangsta is, and there's still 3 people left here for Disguised. Oxygen, there's no safe way for them to make it on here. It's gonna be a runaway, and it's gonna be a third for Disguised.
2 rifles saved up here for Oxygen, but man, Steel on his lurk again. Able to work and kind of pincer that A site. As attention is drawn back towards it looked like, and Oxygen giving up the bonus to Disguise. We'll hold these 2 rifles, and we have the replay here at least. That swarm popping off, and you can see, though, oh, it's the knife that catches 2 players that gives Steel this opportunity to slip through. And yeah, that will put Oxygen with just 2 rifles, and now they're working with just 1 hero rifle on each site. And Disguise off to a steady start economically.
They're going to make the same approach that they've done pretty much for the first 3 rounds. They're really just chilling. Full default here. 1 person watching every angle on this map. This one's a bit different though. Double peek out towards B long. They're healing all of this. But what is this from Oxygen? All of these players grouping up back over towards mid. Could be a bit of an early battle. They have to back out.
Yeah, they're gonna check
no
back
util, or I mean, no information.
Rifle clear B halls. And the rest is to exec now as Disguise. They get onto site here. There are 2 players in towards Link. Neither have a rifle. I think it's between Mitch and Clear that have the both of them, and Mitch is kind of on an island over towards A, so full take here from Disguise in a 5-on-5 as Exalt tucks himself in back calls once the early contact.
Exalt's backing out, but Oxygen, because of this cosmic divide, they can scale. They want to wait for this to drop and maybe just go for 1 big swing here. We're waiting though. That Viper Wall does help them swing. Down goes the cosmic divide. They're going for a triple swing back over towards holes, and it works out. Scuba takes down Clear. There goes Exalt. There goes 4 players over and long for Disguise, but they don't have line of sight. They don't have line of sight on the spike itself. No defuse has gone down though. Scuba tagging away behind the smoke, but that is just about it. Just a 1 kill back for Scuba. Mitch has to run away. 3 players survive for Disguised.
Mitch is going to walk away with a solo rifle, one of the players that lived alongside Scuba. And they take it back here, Disguise. 4-0 start. And it's this slow style that Oxygen aren't really abusing the space they're being given, in the sense that they're not taking any space except for towards mid, and that gives Disguise opportunities to walk up and just essentially walk in a site. That's 4 successful spike plants in a row, and 3 of them actually explode, which I feel like isn't too common of a theme, but now the rifle's back, and Pony takes C-Op out towards B long.
One-way Viper wall, and they're going to hold on to it. There's no KJ util this time. There's only one in the middle of B, but it's a pretty good player to have, Pony.
Yeah, and they're walking up again towards B. He gets one, Pony. Good for the first as he starts to build up. He will back away on this Sage. And now Disguise, yeah, the late exit back in towards mid. That one Prowler has drawn Mitch over towards here as well, and the focus pivots back from Oxygen, from these side exits, now down towards mid. I don't think Steel wanted to reveal yet an Odin, so he just let the Prowler hit him.
And still very much information. Oxygen. Doesn't matter who gets spotted. They have a double swing. It's a crossfire here, just without the Astra smoke. Well done from Disguise. They've broken that apart, but they still have a 1v1 to deal with. Viper at the bottom.
And there's
rotations come in, but what's the option here for Disguise? Where can they go?
Oxygen, I don't think they popped this Viper Spit on B purely because there's an option with Tony, but they're going to try and exit in towards the B side. They've just smoked off that B link, that B connector in a spot, but no, they're walking in. They're walking in, and Randy Savage might be in for a nasty surprise. He deals with one, but 20 seconds left. And there's only one player on A. All that KJ util is down and puts it on Averno in the backside. He has stars to play with, but no Gravwell.
They know where he is. There goes the smoke, though. They have no idea exactly where he is. Maybe he could spray away, but it is going to be the plant. Oxygen, however, 3 players here. Do have the Viper Spit, but don't know how much that could actually help them.
Aggressive.
Very. Look at this. Might be 2 picks here. Ziv around the corner. Gangsta needs the ace, but Pony picks him back away. Insanely close for Disguise, as an ace would have taken them over for the 5th. But Pony's there finally with the op.
And such a slow walk up again from Disguise. They're playing a very long mind game, putting pressure in parts of the map and drawing rotations. In this instance, he catches one out towards B-Link. Oh, but what a lovely shot from Pony. It's an instant mid re-aggression, right? We're seeing Disguise, and the way Steel likes to call is he puts early pressure on, but then he pulls away. Tries to manipulate the map with this kind of push and pull. And they're still rifles to play with, and Oxygen are the worst of it. Losing those 4 rounds in a row, they have to play with 2 judges here. And Scuba's gonna pop this ult here on B.
Scuba knife. Nothing really. Still a lot of contact. There goes a 3-man push, but again, this has to be a little bit of a default. They still have Spike back over towards their spawn. Oxygen have a lot of eyes on this, but for good reason. Again, into the ulti. See, on the other side, these guys need to commit somewhere, though. Oxygen are getting a lot of ground right now.
And there's such a slight change in this Oxygen setup where they're stacking 4 and putting full reliance on the fact that Scuba finds everything. An alarm bot is all they have towards this B link, and now they've realized Disguise have pulled away now from the A site. Still, Steel is here on a lurk, and we've seen this team pivot instantly off of Steel's lurk. But they will walk out towards A. Or apologies, towards B. Yeah, and there's nothing that Viper Spit's going to limit the vision of Scuba, so they don't know where they're walking, actually.
That Viper wall is in a good spot. Does actually force them to push in. Here comes a whole lot of util. Here comes the double star. Shotgun only here for Scuba. Shotgun only, by the way. That is too intense. The rifle comes in. Mitch about to get swung on. You still have Scuba in the middle, and they're planting in the middle of Viper's pit, and it's perfect for the shotgun. Everyone down low, and Scuba in deep waters, sharking them all, and it just works out for Oxygen. Unreal that the shotgun wades through the deep waters and gets those frags.
How is he let, like, they get a kill, or he gets a kill.
They never spawn in that one corner.
They get a second kill, right? And Zip just goes, nah, let me plant. And Scuba, just murking around in his Viper's pit, is able to find 3 somehow. Again, I'm a little bewildered that Ziff goes, let me just plant after 2 of his teammates go down, but still, Disguise trying to late exec into B. I mean, they put down so much util on him to try and force him out of a position so they could plant. But it's not enough. Disguise, still enough credits to buy in this round, and Oxygen starting to set the tempo. They're starting to take space back, and you can see it with an A-walk.
I think they heard that util too. I think the KJ util came a bit late. But even then, they're dealing with a whole lot of pressure. We saw this lurk last round. Didn't work out for any contact, but it did this time, and he goes down. Steel down in A main, disguised with a contact back over towards mid. The one-way takes them away. The KJ util is so prominent in this round. Gets
Mitch
the contact back.
Looking to use his fatal as soon as contact is made, or as soon as he hears too much. Try and hold them back. There's a nano storm there as well with a smoke on top, so a lot of delay util here available for Oxygen Esports. And it will be Mitch to reposition.
What?
They made it out,
Timing.
forcing them back even further. 40 seconds left, and they're still trying to hit this A site. Clear's good for another pick. It leaves it on Averno in the back. But he's given so much space
He's given a lot of space.
that
It's
they
enough
can
time
use
for
a Viper's
rotation.
Pit. They can use this Viper's Pit if they get on.
They won't. Oh, of course, Disguise can, right? But what's the shutdown here? Can there be any shutdown? There is a lockdown for them to be able to retake with, and they're going to use it immediately. 20 seconds left, and the Viper's Pit is going to stay up, and at least for a few seconds.
No, it's going down. It's going down for sure off of this.
They have to
Exalt.
back up. Scuba, good shot, but yeah, no, absolutely, it's going to go down. Cosmic Divide. Are they going to go for the defuse immediately? They have to rush through this wall. They have to wide swing. It is so difficult for them to get any pixels. Well done on the Cosmic. It's perfect for Oxygen to just take a third.
And that frag onto Steel is what kind of sets this in motion for Oxygen. Mitch is able to reposition and play around Verno, sending that Nightfall to kind of delay, again, give Verno an opportunity to poke and prod, and yeah, Oxygen, they're starting to figure out the gaps in this Disguise lineup with aggression over towards A main, catching where Steel wants to play that lurk, and we'll see how Steel wants to adjust, or if Ocean wants to get a word in as he calls a tactical timeout.
Ooh, wow. The timing on this is actually great. Disguised. I mean, don't really know what their economy is exactly looking like for the future, but for now, Oxygen, they've been getting all the momentum in the world. Disguised have been scared of that mid setup. Over on B, they haven't been clearing all their angles. I mean, just clearly, right? The Viper just sitting in one corner and nobody peeks them. Just seems like this is just a good time to mentally get things going.
Yeah, and Scuba, I think, is coming alive as well for this team. Comes in from Art in a really nice spot as well to catch any Art flank. And again, a key player for the side of Disguised, but wasn't enough. Wanted to go for a different angle, but gets shut down. So now for Oxygen, it's about keeping this momentum up and continue to hero build. Or apologies, I got the teams mixed up. Scuba on Oxygen comes in and catches a flank off. He's been having an exceptional game. Again, one of the top players in this event, plus 84. That's looked so good for Oxygen. Is sitting at 12-4. Again, 3 kills do come off the Judge in a Viper's Pit of all things, but it's been enough to give his team sort of redemption in these last couple of rounds. After a sluggish start as well.
Bring them down.
Oxygen, no contact back over in mid as per usual. They give it up. But what we usually see is that double back over towards walk up to B, but doesn't look like.
Ooh.
Yeah, the play over and long doesn't spot anyone. Look at this shift back. It's gonna be the crossfire. Mitch is here alongside Randy, but that big shot from Gangsta. Everyone's now swinging out. Look at the low HP. Randy Savage waiting for the haunt. Has an opportunity. Oh, flash comes in and the swing goes in right with it. Well done. Disguise can do anything now.
Yeah, they did a kind of a switch up there, Oxygen, only leaving a single star there without the alarm bot. And they get punished because of it. Trying to set themselves up for Verno here with that turret and Art, but he's not good enough to get more. Finds a second on the repeat. And I think that's plenty for now. I was hoping maybe he backs away and plays his life, but instead puts it in a 3v2 where the lockdown comes in and Scuba needs to make a move.
They're not planning? Yeah, thank you. I mean,
Spike planted.
the timer going in, this has to be a free play, but Scuba did decide to fight it. Don't blame him. But it does bring it down to the 2v3 once again off the revive clear. Did Clear hear anything?
Steel, no
Doesn't
way,
matter.
Steel!
It doesn't matter. Steel's there, taps them both.
And the switch up on this mid play without.
Wow.
And I think Juvenile is really going to have a word about this, and they switched up that mid link area where instead of having the alarm bot traditionally, they decide we're just going to throw a Gravel and bank on the fact that Mitch and Randy Savage are good enough to hold this link, but it wasn't enough really. They get the isolated 1v1 on Mitch, and then Randy Savage just forced out of position, solo ulted and flashed. And Oxygen, those 3 key rounds that they had. not necessarily gone to waste just yet. Disguised. Having a pretty clean first half, I'd say, on the attack. The steal method of calling, of going as slow as humanly possible into finding a pick and bursting on a site has worked exceptionally well against this Oxygen side, who are trying to adjust to their setups.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like any of these rounds where Oxygen are getting any sort of first contact, they're just not comfortable when that ends up happening. It's always the long game with Disguised, and it always leaves one or two players out of position. Yeah, they may be on the site where they want to be, but not in the position where they want to be, not in the angle where they want to be. It's just small things like that. It's gonna win you these games. Disguised, however, we haven't seen too much A action. It looks like we're finally getting it in a round where they don't have the KJ util there.
And it's a 4-player stack again over here towards the B site, never mind. It will be, at least for now, Scuba shifting back over towards this art area, where I think he will be able to at least kind of support Verno in the sense that Verno won't have to worry about someone rushing down his art side, but he is playing back towards back spawn or back site, so a different look again coming out. Oxygen electing to wall off B mid. Off of that A aggression and leave the KJ util to play over towards B, where it seems Disguise now begin their shift. They have this Astro wall to walk up on. It's clear, tries to punish Randy Savage in the backside. Mitch, and look at this wall. I've seen this work like once
angle.
or twice.
Yeah, no, and the turret, it's at the perfect angle just before someone is able to peek this player, but oh, they actually find him. They know he's here.
Oh, they clear it. They clear it.
You gotta be kidding me! Clear through the wall, Dry takes down Mitch. And that's the site. After Exoc takes down Randy. Okay, that's unfortunate, I guess. Oxygen with 3, though.
Instant 5v3. They will get out, and Verno up again. They're just not checking, and Verno, that one kill gives him the chance. I don't know if he went AFK, I don't know if he GC'd, but that's an opportunity. And now a 3v2. And Seal miles away from the situation, miles out of this fight. And Seal doing anything he can to delay. Spots one in the long angle, spots one in the smoke. Knows he's on the spike, knows he's got the clutch! Steel!
Come on now.
An unbelievable play! Spamming every single star to give them a chance, and he's got 3.
You talk about the redemption arc. We saw redemption arc within 5 seconds. This man was far and away from sight, had no chance to put in an impact in this 1v3. He finally shows up and immediately takes down all 3. Steel looking for redemption, making his way back into tier 1, but he's got his team back in the game.
And in a round that'll reset Oxygen, put him on a very, very light buy. Again, don't know what happened with Clear. All I know is Seal comes up big.
Right.
And it's back to the usual antics. Slow and methodical. Verno, though, again, key to take this space. It's something that they've been adapting. Switching up this mid setup with now 2 players there to wait instead. No wall, no alarm bot, no grav well.
Concealment.
Disguise, I mean, the way they play so slow, these adjustments kind of are nullified in the sense that they're not finding that early impact that they want. And it forces these early setups to just be changed instantly as soon as Disguise make a move.
That's so cheeky. Randy getting distracted by the other angle. As we finally get into a bit of a take, Disguise had 4 of their players close up into B.
Oh, Exalt.
Yeah, I would thought those close angles would have done something, but they do nothing. The pistols only get 1.
And I think now Oxygen, now that you come out of this with your full buy, it's a big take of, do we want to try and get aggressive with this, guys? And yeah, in the sense that they've been taking A main control, but it feels, at least right now, that Disguise are being unpunished for this slow style. And in the past, the way we've seen this get countered, especially Steel's calling in particular, is play aggressive, and eventually Steel will have to call and adapt and say, okay, we need to sit back and watch for the aggression. We can't try and manipulate the map as we have been. Verno, I think he's just going to be looking for a frag, maybe an exit. Certainly needs to go down here. If he goes down, he does get the Cosmic Divide, but they're not going to give it to him. So no ultimate for Verno. But now with the rifles back in their hand, it will be up to Oxygen to say, okay, we need to adjust here and now.
The gun's back. Oxygen. I mean, they lose out in this round. Their second half momentum is already snipped, right?
And it's
8-3. It could be 9-3.
And it's not too far off where they can get 7-5. But this is the round that is crucial to that success.
They got to do it. It's going to be fast, though. This is a big adjustment back over towards mid. At least it was. They were playing the fade up close, but they're going to adjust for something big back over towards A main instead. Deep Star. It might be Deep Prowler.
And they're going back for the similar mid setup with this Poison Orb, Nanostorm, and Alarm Bot, and allow Scuba to play off of this impact, or play off of that contact. And I think Pony is posted up with an AWP in the back, and I don't know if that catches. It does actually catch Randy Savage, who had that util. So B split is coming through, and Scuba has it all to do.
No, and he does nothing. Not able to get the frag, but Pony shifting around and gets traded out by Gangsta. The side has been taken.
Res up as well, so we're back to a 5-on-5. Randy looking for the kill.
Oh, no.
Not enough bullets, and Ziff gets his teammate up and gets out, leaving Oxygen 3 versus 5. They might just have to save as well. You mentioned the economy. Not a lot to work with after this loss.
Oh, no,
And Steel
no.
already catching Verno. This rat man just sneaking around is able to find another.
Oxygen, Oxygen, Oxygen. One more round to go in the half. What can they actually do with it? What do they actually have? I mean, they've switched things up so many times. We had a 5-man peak of mid at one point. Did nothing. 3 different times we saw aggression back over towards A main. Nothing. All of the one-off things Oxygen have tried have not been working, and they haven't been pressuring Disguise to change their push and pull play style.
The turret caught Gangsta, but yeah. Disguise, I mean, that's a fast pop off the KO ultimate. I think they recognize the weak point is this B mid area. However many times Oxygen want to adjust, I think they've only had really one successful hold in B Link, and nothing is working. It's a big exploit here that Disguise are looking to utilize, and in this last round, we were looking at, for a second, 3 judges. Scuba going to the Bulldog instead, even though his success was off a judge in his Viper spin on B.
There. No
Doesn't use it instantly. And an early haunt was going to pull already a player back towards B Link.
They got a little info before pulling out the pit.
They put so
least
much
it's a fish
impact here towards mid from Disguise, and now Oxygen have to adjust. 3 players here. A haunt given out as well to check.
Face your fear.
And it's just been a clean walk-up. Now they know exactly what Scuba is and where that power's going to get him, and it forces him out.
Wow, Viper's pit is going to go down. Surely, there's no way that he can get back into the site if someone actually gets that back haul cross. And indeed they will. Once they pull up a smoke, it's done. It's dropped. There goes the cross, though. It's going to be 5v5 for Oxygen, so not exactly out of the realm of possibility.
And it's about fighting in backside here for Disguise. They don't want this wall to go up. They don't want either Sage or the Cosmic Divide to go up. And Exalt takes the fight to them. Denying any chance they can get into sight is key here. And Disguise have the advantage.
That's a little bit of util taken away, but still a lot more to do. 4 players to come in, but they're all coming in from the same angles. 2 coming in from main, 2 coming in from spawn. Exalt with a cross once again, getting up a big one. Clear. They still haven't cleared him out. He's still over in halls, and he's still shifting around. Mitch has no chance, and it's a 9-3. Well done from Clear.
Switching sides.
Great post-plant decision from Disguise. They know the Cosmic Divide is going to come in no matter what.
Remaining.
And so what they do is they get aggressive in towards the back instead. They allow it so that, okay, we get to a post plant and we're playing from long, there's not going to be a Cosmic Divide stopping us. We won't have to run through a wall. So they get aggressive, deny any chance that that Cosmic Divide has any impact. And this has been disguised all over this map. This slow style calling has caught Oxygen off guard, and now on the defensive side, where they have a chance to close things out. It starts, again, with that pistol round. Disguised. They're playing confident. I think you can see it as well, the way that they're taking these fights.
It all started with that timeout, too. Good momentum shift back for Disguised. And this could just continue it. Big push coming out from A main. We already saw that enough from Oxygen, but it's just pistols. We should see a little bit more caution from Steel. He does get the first contact, but he has no idea that it's 3. Could come out of nowhere. Big pick coming out from B, but it's just the one contact. It's just the one lurker, and I think they've already spotted the spike. Big rotation from Disguised.
It's up close. He has the right click. Nanostorm doesn't have
Can
to
he even
pop.
go through?
And Oxygen don't cancel. This is an instance where you need to get out. And already Exalt has exploited one player towards mid. 5 on 3.
Right there.
And in a round that you kind of desperately need, you're slowed to a halt. And Exalt is watching this mid rotate. Already knows there's one there.
They're committing a few rotates, but it's just to keep the map a bit even. Oxygen, after cutting noise, though, they have made it an even 3v3, but a little bit of utility, too. This isn't exactly impossible. Here they go! The grab wheel is so good! Pulls in the 2. Gangsta with a couple right clicks, able to get some damage, but wasn't exactly the kill he wanted. It's only one player left here on A, and they're getting whack-a-moled on top of their wall. Ziff going down to 20 HP. In Disguised, they made the rotation, but they can't get the plant down. Oxygen! No! Couldn't get the plant down in default, couldn't get the plant down in backside. Disguised, they survive.
Yeah, not knowing where those 2 players are gonna hurt you. You have to kind of, similar to what we saw Steel do in that pistol round in the first half, is he got aggressive in towards Flowers, needed to get that information. And there, that's what Oxygen were doing. Didn't find anything, they only got punished for it instead. And Clear has been playing exceptionally well. 17-7. He has been one of the highlight and standout players and made Oxygen kind of completely known in most instances, especially on that attacking side, the way he's able to work the map. And now he's been trusted solo on the B site where, you know, as a rookie player and under the IGL and leadership of Steel and the coach potential of Ocean, he's going to be a player that blossoms extremely well. And he's been playing calm, playing very well.
Back at him this round. Oxygen are making something out of it, even though it's just pistols. They do get the plant down. The nanostorm that was set up in the middle of the site didn't actually get anything either. A lot of control towards the back site, and I think they know it. The Vipers taking their sweet, sweet time and actually making their way out, but Exalt, alongside Clear, still take the back site completely. 3 players survive at the end. Yeah, we're focusing up on economy, but let's just focus up on the round. One more round for Disguised, and it's a reset for Oxygen. It's 12-3.
There. Catch your breath. Not that I need to, of course.
And they walk away with Clear's rifle, who has been soloing this B site, but I think instead it's going to be Exalt who plays back here towards B Link, and it will be Clear once more entrusted to solo. He's got a much more aggressive wall and a walkout wall as well for B Link. So he's going to look for this fight, and he has a wall set up so that his team later on can walk out through it. That's Oxygen who
I'll find you.
playing a little further back, and Disguise taking that very early peek towards mid, spotting nothing towards the B mid link side on the attacking side. Now Oxygen, who had no space, are going to be forced to re-clear.
No util, though, which is good. It's just a bit more that they have to deal with. They have no idea about this mid situation, about that alarm bot situation. So many corners to clear in just that one avenue. Here on the front side, it's tough for Ziff. Ziff does have the turret to at least pick up the nanoswarm in front of him.
Poison's off.
But what is the idea here for Oxygen? They're looking for contacts, but they're just going to relegate themselves back over towards B.
The Disguise Prowler out from Steel. He's now going to take that space. Or apologies, Haunt. But there's no shift just yet here from Disguise. It comes down to, again, Clear to kind of anchor this site. The wall goes up. Smoke up as well as they try and peek on through it. They're expecting now this be hit as a third player in rotation. And they're on the wall here, Oxygen. And it's a fast pop that they're going to go for.
Yeah, the toxins are going to be gone in an instant. It's getting cleared up now. Good grab well, but there's still going to be that plant. Nothing else is stopping him. Exalt wants to swing. There's 15 seconds left, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be a full 5v5 with control of holes, but they know it. They've left Exalt into that position, but there goes Clear. There's only one person in the middle of the site that could be able to fight here. The Prowler didn't spot him. The Prowler didn't spot him. Pony, he could go absolutely massive here. Waiting for a couple of players to swing both from behind the smoke, and indeed he gets two. spots Pony, and Pony spots all of them. 4 to 11 Oxygen, or at least
I know
taking a step towards
what must
getting
be
back
done.
into this game.
Hero play there from Pony. Keeps them in this game entirely. Like you said, probably doesn't clear here. And he finds 2 through a smoke, and now knowing where the last 2 players are to spin on back. Pony with a massive 3K. Really to keep Oxygen back in this game. And now Disguised, who on even footing here with Oxygen, I would say even with a lesser buy. 3 sets of light shield.
Bring them down.
Has
It
switched
is
their
tough, but
setup.
They should have full util off of that. A lot more pressure back over towards mid, but it's just because it's the Fade instead.
Knife out towards Long is going to give Clear this space. He's gotten aggressive. 2 players here to battle. But a lovely flash, and he is tucked.
What?
Gets 1. No way he gets 1.
And Clear doesn't use the orb to escape. Tried to fight for another 1v1, but everyone's there to try to get the trade. Still have Steel on the other side of the map, going for a lurk. Exalt's the only one here, at least from what they seem from the haunt.
You will
But
not
Oxygen.
kill my ally.
This is the Steel special.
Careful.
Slower, deeper walk out. Double stars placed already. And Steel already here on rotation. 4 players. They've all leaned over towards A, but there's 40 seconds left. And I think if the timing is right here, there's an opportunity for them to find the A site completely open. Oxygen. But now we're ticking down to 30. And I think that time, that ability to rotate out, has dwindled down. And now they have to commit to the hit.
Wow.
seconds
Okay. I mentioned this Steel special. Of course, it's not actually Steel, but it's the exact same play. But even then, not making any contact. Everyone is here for Disguise. They could just spray away, and indeed, they're doing that. They've taken down the spike. They're trying to spray through the wall, but they're finally going to be able to get that plant easily. Exalt has to peek, though, and the wall goes down, and Scuba is gone. Rotation's coming in deep, but they have to delay for it. Mitch is able to get the big kill. Do they know where Randy Savage is? Randy's in a weird angle and has to reload too. Good job delaying. Great job delaying. Their teammate could come in on time, but Steel finally comes up. Inferno gets spotted. Whoever got that 180 might have just saved the round there for Disguised as they get the 12th.
Match point.
And it's that early rotate, that 4-player cleanup. Apologies. Movement back towards that B side. After clearing out both Art, mid, and A main, I mean, yeah, Verno's on a very late lurk, but it's not impactful in this instance where Disguised have all the info and are aware as to what the hit is, where the hit is coming through onto. And Clear, Viper's Pit online, we saw him maybe tempted to use it as Oxygen only have 1 ultimate. Viper's Pit themselves, but for the side of Disguise, it's a null command as well.
Oh my god, they're using it in mid.
A clog up towards mid that actually works all the way in towards B lane.
Sick. Well, now, no chance at least over towards mid. No chance for a split. But nobody here on A. What?
And they're expecting
What?
a mid play.
Yeah, they were fully banking on it. Even though they have the Viper's Pit, they dedicate the A player to it. It did have some util there, but it goes away
Oh,
immediately.
sick. What
Zip,
the?
however, getting 2 big kills. The Viper's Pit does go up. They're still looking for Scuba. But this could be good here for Disguise, too. Disguise, they still have the KO ulti, too.
And it's up to Scuba. Playing around this Viper's Pit. I mean, he really doesn't have much to work with. He's playing in the back. Flash on through and Mitch to try and stay alive. They're doing damage and they've done enough here. Mitch in a 1v2. Has the bullets but doesn't have the angle, and that's Disguised. Viper's Pit up when it wasn't enough. They take the map 13-4.
Defenders win.
It was tough at the very beginning. Oxygen started to get wind in their sails, and the instant that Disguise Toast grouped themselves together, started playing down to their team essentially, or playing up to them, who knows. They ended up dominating. We only saw 1 round since that timeout. It's been immaculate for Disguise. What a start here on Pearl.
Yeah, and it has been kind of the Steel show, right? Slow rounds of the attack and really methodical defensive plays working that mid side. I mean, this Viper's Pit, I think, in this last round, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm interested to hear the thoughts behind it, but it works out. But in the words of Steel, a play that works doesn't mean it was a good play. But still, Disguise taking the map 13-4. Looking strong here on Pearl as we head into the second map where it's a little bit stronger for them.
Yeah, a little bit, but we'll be able to see that right after the break. But before we go over towards the break, we wanted to give a big thank you to one of our sponsors over at eBay. You can't win the game without the gear, can't you? So get exactly what you need from eBay. Ladies and gentlemen, go to pks.gg/eBay to find out more on what eBay has to offer for you. Whether, of course, the holiday season is over and you're trying to get an exchange or you're trying to get an upgrade for your setup, use eBay, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with the break, of course. Map number 2 will be live.
To some, this is nothing more than cardboard and ink. But to those who know, these are precious metals, rare gems, a full set it took 15 years to complete. Low-pop rookies, hypnotizing hollows, one of only a handful in the universe, or an heirloom to look after for the next generation. No matter what you collect, raw or graded, to have and to hold, or to crush your opponents with, what matters is that it's real. Introducing eBay's Authenticity Guarantee for trading cards. Our third-party authenticators inspect every detail of your card and compare it to the listing to make sure it's the real deal or no deal, because we know just how much your collection means to you.
Finally, you can stay in control of your thumbsticks. Natural evolution gave the gecko its amazingly strong grip. Our multi-patented SetX technology duplicates the microstructured fibers on a gecko's foot for a revolutionary new way to get a grip on game controller thumbsticks. Like a gecko's foot, the thousands of microstructures on each SetX anti-slip thumbstick grip provide high friction to the skin surface for a secure, comfortable grip, even when sweaty, giving you a competitive advantage. Stay in control with the secure and comfortable grip of SetX thumbstick grips. Inspired by nature, perfected by science.
What a decisive first map from DSG. Disguised Toast. I imagine he's watch party. He's feeling good. I feel good about your team as well. Now, Oxygen Esports down 0-1. It's myself, Sully, and Up Mine here to cover the action. It's a very tricky situation in Oxygen Esports because now we're going to ascent our second map, which at least between us two, we were talking, it's a much more dominant map for Disguise.
Yeah, of course, a lot more dominant. 6-0 record for this team throughout this tournament, but
Control their agent. Clear was still fighting first blood after first blood, played exceptionally well, and in comparison, the other Viper, Scuba, on the side of Oxygen Esports, played well himself, but not enough. When a solo effort like Scuba comes through, you need a supporting cast that is there as well to assist him, and I think Scuba just simply was not enough to carry his team through. Even though they lost 13-4, he had 21 kills and had the most ACS in the server.
yeah, and also, of course, it didn't really help that he was the one getting the first contacts. He had 4 first contacts in the on the defensive side, and he split them. He went 2 first deaths, 2 first kills, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team, we've seen a lot of success from a lot of them individually. We just can't see it on the defensive side. They just need that support. But what happened with some of the setups over towards mid? Because we saw a lot of investment from Oxygen in terms of that B link, and nothing ended up coming to fruition from that one spot. There was just a lot of individual moments and individual spots that just kept running back and back and back again for Oxygen, and they just couldn't fix them.
Yeah, and I feel like going into the second map, it will be up to Oxygen to make these adjustments around this slow style, because there's not much of a stylistic difference between maps when it comes to Steel's calling. From what we've seen when he was on 100 Thieves, when he was on T1, we know he likes to play slow. And how are Oxygen going to adapt around that and essentially exploit the space? Because there were times in those 4 rounds that they did win, it was them taking space on the defensive side in areas where Steel was lurking, punishing Steel on those lurks, and giving them big 4v5 advantages where they have a good conversion rate. They're able to win these 4v5s or these 5v4 advantages. But when you are playing to Steel style and you're not kind of exploiting and abusing that space that he's willing to give you in these slow styles, where it's him watching one extremity or it's someone else watching one extremity, if you're not finding those first bloods and willing to get aggressive, he will take you for your money, and he will exploit that slow style as much as he can.
And I mean, disguised, I mean, that slow style might come into effect again on Ascent, and I want to say it will. Yeah, they do.
No,
have
it
a
will.
jet.
It will. It's Steel. We know he's gonna call it slow. He always calls slow.
Yeah, and it ended up working a lot on their attacking side, because if I'm not mistaken, right now their attacking side win rate is like 70%, and they ended up destroying NSIC on it. If I'm not mistaken, it was 10-2 in their attacking half. So, okay, right, whatever. That pressure on the attacking side is going to be there, but Oxygen, we still could have seen some sort of backup from them on their attacking side. Ascent gives them a lot more of those opportunities, or at least a lot more opportunities for some 50-50 type trades. But is that still enough for them to be able to take a map like Ascent? Is that enough for them to kind of take that same mentality from Pearl and take it onto Ascent?
Look, I know you're talking about Ascent being a 50-50 map, and yeah, the agents, right, they have a jet. Maybe they play a little bit faster, I think, for at least the side of Disguise, but 50-50s are non-existent when you are up against a team that is methodical and manipulating the map. And I think that's what Steel does really, really well, is that he's able to put pressure on one part of the map, understands what kind of shift that does based on his players in mid, his player in B main. He knows, okay, this player has moved. Okay, what contact
always
has
an
been made there?
intention.
He knows what's going on. And so these 50-50s, you're funneling into the way Steel wants to play. So I'm looking for these guys, right? They have Mitch on the breach, it looks like. They have Verno on the Sova. We want to see Pony get into spots where he can control one core part of the map, and then it's up to the rest of his team to judge. Scuba, phenomenal sight anchor on the controller. We're looking for Pony to work the other side of the map and remove space from this Steel kind of calling.
Yeah, of course we need it, right? But what about some of the players like Scuba, who could be able to lurk? I want to see a little bit more of that success, because we saw a lot of attempts of it on Pearl, a lot of mid contact from their attacking side, and nothing, right? No sort of opportunity whatsoever for them to get into that. I don't know if, of course, Disguise is going to avoid any sort of 1v1 contacts early, but on a map like Ascent, where mid is very open and B is very, it's very tempting for you to get into that 1v1, for you to get into that peak. I'm just wondering how far Disguise are actually going to want to go with those.
Yeah, and I think that for Disguise, it's, okay, how do we avoid Pony, who's now on this jet, right? Because you're talking about mid being open, and that's where the op is going to shine. Pony on the defensive side, I mean, both of these players, both Clear and Pony, rarely pick up the op on the attack, and now that Pony is on the defensive side, it's, does Clear go for, by the way, has an under 5% attacking op pick? Does he elect to pick up the op a little bit more frequently? And does he try and challenge Pony in these instances? But with the slow style, I mean, the op doesn't really work with that pick, so you need Clear to take space and kind of be someone on the other side of the map that Steel is working to give him and feed him that info with his aggressive style and his ability to get in and get out and get frags.
We need at least that step up, because we saw a lot of shutdown of the duelists. We saw a lot of shutdown from Disguised. They can do it. This sort of comp has faltered against Disguised, but Oxygen, they need a second fresh breath. It's going to be a full takeover towards A to start map 2.
And the redemption of Steel from 100 Thieves to T1, now to Disguised Toast. Fast take, and that's what you want. Oni to get aggressive, looking for this info. He hears a lot. He knows there's a lot, and he's gonna go down to the end. Maybe overextends. No one there to support him. And that's what Disguise are looking for. That aggression. Again, I told you, they'd sit back and just wait for you.
I'm sure he's going to think about that in the next few rounds, but we'll see that attempt again. We'll see the Jet peeking out again.
These 5-on-4s for Disguise have been so clean, especially with the first bloods that they've been able to amass. An 83% conversion rate. And they cut noise, completely cut noise on this A hit. Mitch tucked in towards Cat, looking for anyone on a late lurk, particularly I imagine Steel as he comes back to throw these smokes out. And out they come, clear to take first contact on his site, nothing there to stop him. And that's Disguise getting the site for free, even with Steel going down. They've taken the site control, and in this pistol round, if they can maintain on-site control, this one should be theirs.
Rotation's coming in a bit late too. They don't get that full information that they wanted out of Heaven. They don't actually know how many players are coming out. It's 3. All water falling out. Still have one over towards Cat. Could be able to burst out of that gate ASAP, but this is Clear playing whack-a-mole, getting 3. All headshots for Clear. And all too easy for Disguise. They open up the second map.
Again, a man that you will know by the end of this match. Clear. If you haven't watched him yet on any of their side streams or when he was on the mainstream, take note of him now. A true star in the making, and he's under some of the best mentorship in North America. Ocean, who fostered a rookie Knights lineup into qualifying towards the group stage. Steel, who has fostered generations of North American talent. And now Disguise, taking a step closer to that challenger spot. Don't want to solidify it just yet. But still, it seems Oxygen do not have a response for the way this has gone, for this slow style of Steel's calling.
What sort of questions are they asking themselves here? 3 players, 4 players on the A side, and not a single contact anywhere. I don't think they hear anything over towards B. They don't hear the turret back over towards mid. We might get something here from Exalt. That knife could be massive, and indeed, it's actually not. That was pretty close. Randy Savage backs on out. Same thing with the Jet. Only able to get info on one, and they had no idea that that was the KJ. Here comes the pushback, though. Back in the main.
Steel is working his way up again. Always his lurk and Ziff. Not too far behind. It's Scuba. Verno left alone. Verno, who again, massive in yesterday's best of 3, has been quiet from the first map. Hoping he lights up in the second as Scuba left alone in this 1 versus 4. And I think for Scuba, yeah, a lot of expectations on him. 21 kills in that last map. Has always been a top performer when he was on Knights. Has been consistently good on Oxygen. I think we're looking at him to kind of be a key factor again for Oxygen Esports. He was key in that last map. Again, they lost 13-4, but still had Scuba on 21 kills. So, looking to see what he can do. He's going to want to go down to the spike here as Disguise. 4 players staying alive, so it's 4 weapons carried over into the next. Almost a full bonus. As it was Steel the only one to go down, but I imagine he's just going to go down to a pistol. So 2-0 start for Disguise. As Scuba goes down to the spike, and things are cooking up. As the bonus for Disguise. And we'll see if they want to go for a fast play. I imagine not.
What you said is a common theme, by the way. Scuba getting top frags on maps that they lose. The last map that they ended up losing was 3 rounds ago, and it was against 99 strength. And the one map that they ended up losing, ironically, Ascent, you had Scuba with 3-4 kills above everyone. So, I mean, Disguised have a few threats to deal with, surely on that Oxygen side, but this is finally the round where they come out.
It's a little bit faster here from Disguise as well. Oxygen kind of know the stakes. This is the round where things kind of peel away from you if you're not able to win it, especially on the bonus. And they're not contacting at all in A. They're playing a full retake here as Clear, dashing into the site, wants to get aggressive. Scuba good to find the first pick, but there might be a trade as Mitch. Bullets galore towards his face, and Clear has removed the other threat, Scuba out of the mix.
Yeah, the speed run into heaven ended up working out perfectly for Clear, and now there's 3 players there. This is such a good off angle. It's just a one and done, right? But in a 4v4, need any advantage that you can get. He's just easily dropped down. Oh, but this Aloe drone doesn't spot him. This is good.
There's no smoke to remove this late lurk in towards A main. And Clear, up top, is going to take the turret. Contact actually does get stunned.
No way he got stunned. He got stunned from that? No, down into sight, he goes down. The trades go galore. Exalt now in 1v2. No, excuse me, Pony in a 1v2. He ends up taking down Exalt, but you still had Ziff for the insurance policy. But wow, that fault line almost did it all.
Yeah, this is a great round from Disguised. A little bit of a quicker take off the bonus. I stand corrected. They did want to go fast. And it's Clear, who does a great job of recognizing, okay, we lose a player out front. There's no one on the A site. Let me get into heaven and try and exploit any gaps in this retake. And he finds Scuba. Again, a heavy hitter, removes the smoke sprayer and gives Randy Savage, or apologies, Ziff, the ability to play an A main uncovered. And Ziff there for the final kill. 3-0 start as Disguised. Winning out their bonus. And Oxygen. Scuba, a switch up in their setup, alone on the A site. As these 3 players who had pushed A are now pushing towards B.
A 3-man spray to try to take down one person getting an orb. Pony's gone. And it was a big mission for Oxygen, so it'll be kind of awkward to see if they actually rotate from this and how they do it.
There. Suppressing.
Knife going out late here. Gangsta. They actually commit this null command. Trying to remove any possibilities of any KJ util here, but Disguised. Full sight take, and Ziff, good to clean up these lurks. He's the one lurking instead of Steel this time around, and so tucked into the logs. Steel, 5-on-3 is Oxygen. Looking for any possible damage at this point in time. Is Steel able to catch just the edge of Randy Savage. For Steel, up close here with a shorty now. Up against a judge of all things, the bigger version of his weapon. Nice blind, and he baits him out. Baits him out nicely. There you go, Steel. Easy does it. A flawless round looks like here for Disguised Toast Esports. I wonder if that'll be their name in the future. Disguised Toast Esports.
DTE? Disguised Toast Esports. I like DSG though. Disguised. Unless you want to get like the full brand in.
I want an LLC from him, a patent, copyright infringement. Intellectual property of Disguised Toast Esports.
I mean, they don't even have a logo. They still have the stick figures, which I honestly think they should keep.
I think their logo is literally just his Twitch profile, but Disguised will have their full buyback.
It's the line drawing.
Pony. He picks up the op this time around, and this time is, I mean, he picks it up more frequently here on the defense, but that's a great way to counter him, the turret. Forcing him off the angle. Now it's slower from Disguised. They want to see what Oxygen have, and another switch up in their setup. They've now moved the KJ Oxygen to this A site and left Pony to work mid alone. Does have support of Erno, but he's just there to help him get out.
He shifts back, and there's no sort of util for them to play around, but this is, again, just Disguised playing with the timing again of Oxygen. Just with one peek, too.
No mid control is going to keep some of these players here on Oxygen locked into the B side, and with only 2 players here on A. No early rotates, banking on the fact that, well, Randy Savage is good enough here with Scuba to hold it down. He has an extra star available, which he has now dropped. A gravel set up there for Door. Randy Savage to just stay alive in the back. As Scuba up top, the high-low swing.
Yeah, this is so much delay here. They have a nanostorm in the middle of sight, and here comes the dash. Clearance up front. They pull out the pull, and Steel's already there with a TP. Good stuff onto Randy Savage.
Just so fast into this site, Disguised, giving Oxygen no time to react. A quiet walk-up. No Q into this hit.
10 seconds left.
And Oxygen left, wondering where they went wrong. Another full buy round.
Oh my God.
That's a waste. The op will be saved. Same thing with Mitch's Vandal. But a 5-0 start for Disguise. And yeah, similar to that first map, this is where things kind of feel like they start to pull away from them. A dominant start for Disguise. Again, spearheaded by Clear as he continues to enter into sites. And Oxygen have been nowhere to be seen.
Last player standing.
Oh, Steel.
Oh, jeez. And it just keeps getting worse.
They're trying to hunt the op down as well. Pony's just gonna have to hold in this back site.
Enemy kill.
Okay. At least one thing, but they just need to hold on to the op. They
Maybe
need
not even. Maybe not even.
the op. No, Steel. Okay. Pony, cheeky, but Steel was already incredibly low. Okay, timeout in other. Okay, timeout. I mean, surely they couldn't time it any earlier. But this is really when the game starts to slip out of their hands. It's 5-0, one more round, 6-0. Surely you don't have money enough for the 7. I mean, every single one of these rounds, Sully, that Disguised Toast, where this team are expected to win, they take it so cleanly.
And I think for a map that a lot of people consider defensive-sided, this is an Oxygen Esports kind of disaster in my eyes. This timeout will be Juvenile kind of prepping the team to say, okay, what do we need to adjust? I think one of the things that maybe they're not recognizing is the fact that every exec is not a last second pop, but a full contact walk up. That's how these rounds have gone. That's the 5th clear dash into A site, or the 4th clear dash into A site. I think they hit the B site one time. And there's no drone to queue it up. There's no dart to queue it up. It's just he goes in, sits in his smoke, and then the util comes after. So it'll be up to Oxygen to see how do we exploit that. And what the setup switch is. They've moved the KJ from A, now back to mid, over towards his B side. They are on an eco, and they're going to try and work around this Pony AW or op.
Are they going to put it in a pivotal early spot? Maybe over towards Cat? Yeah, they are. Okay. Might just be in that 1v1 against the KJ if they even peek, but what is for the 6th round in a row? Not a single close peek, not a single early contact peek from Disguise. They're just holding back in their spawn. I mean, imagine how tempted all of these Oxygen players are.
Yeah, now they're going to spot Pony or no? Creeps out in front of the smoke. But does he dare take a peek? He's asking for a flash there. He wants a flash there. He wants to get queued up, and yeah, he does. But he doesn't go for the peek instead. He sits, waits in the smoke to fade, and then he gets one. That's a big opening there for the side of Oxygen, but how do they recuperate? Disguise, up back towards mid. All 4 players this time around, no lurks.
They're finally going to make a full B take here. These 2 players in the back. One of them has a stinger. No idea what Randy has, but it might not be good. It might just be a pistol. This is tough. Verno trying to help out, but that's actually even better. Aftershock to shut down stairs. 40 seconds left, so it's not exactly chomping time off the board. And Disguise are finally getting the kills they need. One more player in the back line. Randy Savage down to 5. He'll be done in a flash.
And we're going to see if this is an instance where Oxygen want to save the operator again as Pony. Good to find one. Scuba tucks into his grenade, doesn't work. And Exalt goes down 2 versus 2.
Wait a minute.
And we don't know the util just yet, but Steel in the back and Clear up close. Op and knives for Pony.
Ooh, 1 knife, but that's more than enough to take down the low Clear. And not only that, but picks up a Vandal to make the odds a bit easier. Here we go. Double red, shotgun out, 1 bullet will do it. Indeed takes down Clear, 1 more to go. Steel needs the headshots. The trigger discipline was almost spotless, but Pony takes down the last 2.
And he comes up huge. Finally, Oxygen with something. And it's in the form of a mid-read. I think an understanding here from Oxygen is that smoke is Disguise's way of saying that, yeah, we never had mid-control, but this is us trying to take it back. Especially that knife combo. I think that's the read that they made, and it was a good one. Pony coming up huge with 4. But it's these hero plays that I question, are they replicable? They came out of that timeout, and yeah, they went around, but it's again, off the back of a solo play from Pony himself.
Kill all.
I mean, if it works, you might as well just keep going after it. Pony has put himself in yet another pivotal spot early on. with 4 players on this side of the map and B. Pony's just waiting for a contact. There's the Vandal. They don't know that the opposite here. Flash doesn't get anything, and Pony gets the first frag. Doesn't even have the dash just yet. The recon bolt spots him, but Pony wants to hit and dash. Spray in.
You should run.
Are they going to be able to get another one? Yes, they do. How do they get it? One person to the back of sight, trying to distract the lockdown in to spread everyone away, but Verno could get the big kill onto Steel. It's not going to happen.
A little bit risky there from Verno to try, and I feel play that back sight. We'll see how this goes. They shoot the little thunder, but he doesn't get stunned. Zip with an opportunity to keep his team in it, but instead, no. Steel spam through the box, and Yoden from Gangsta has no bullets in it. He just has shocks and a classic. But they're not pushing. They're not willing to give him anything. A scuba comes from the right side. And a second round for Oxygen. Off again, the operator of Pony.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why not? If Pony, especially on a map like Ascent, where you can get light and easy first contacts and be able to back up, if it works, it works. But I don't know how much Oxygen can actually just work around it, especially if Pony's just not on that site. These rotations from Oxygen, they've been good, they've been fast. But this next round, Disguise might give them a big test on A.
And Pony's just been good to find these first bloods, which he's found now 2 times in back-to-back rounds. But this time he's not taking the more aggressive op angle, he's going to sit back. And I think now Disguise are realizing, okay, we need to be a little bit more wary of this op play.
Whoa.
But a dart in towards Stream will give them this control. Pony with the operator once more. Smoke in front, nearly catches Clear. But it's Mitch instead in Tree.
Clear's gone. Out of nowhere, Mitch actually gets that frag, and here comes the retake of Cat, actually. Oxygen put on a bit of pressure, but Exalt is the one with the frag. One already in the middle of sight. Pony looking to retake, but with the gate open, Mitch just swinging it wide open. There goes Ziff. At least taking him down, but Ziff maintains this position. This cross is going to be very difficult for Oxygen.
Verno and Pony need to hold in towards Street to allow this lockdown to go in as a spike. Already on site. And Ziff knows he needs to fight. A great bait and a lockdown to come through. Baits it out.
There's a rush.
With 40 seconds left, and they're starting to fight. Exalt knows what he needs to do. Breaks down the lockdown. And a 2-on-2. Exalt left in the clutch. Taking the peek as Pony takes the fight. Looks for another. Needs a one. But he has a spike in his hands. Has a lockdown, or apologies, has a null commit, but that doesn't come into effect here.
And they spotted the spike too. They spotted Exalt with this spike on their radar. 20 seconds left. Will he make this run? He is. Oxygen haven't walked. They're still waiting for a pixel. He's gonna have enough time to plant.
10 seconds left.
What?
Surely not.
Oh my goodness, Exalt. Trying to give himself any sort of advantage here, especially because it's 37 HP.
Oh. And Exalt.
Did he fake it?
I think he might know that one is in towards Boathouse, but is worried about that lane. He can only hold one. And with no util to work with. And you can see Pony's expecting an aggressive play from... They're both expecting aggressive plays from Exalt. And now they start to realize with the time taken, they need to get a move on. Exalt has made no effort. He's sitting in the backside. Wants the angle, has a headshot lineup onto one. Both are approaching, and he gets one. Lineup nearly. The spike tap, not stuck. Exalt, there to bait, there to swing, and he almost has it. Bait and switch. Verno will get it at the last second.
I mean, finally, the hard-fought round for Oxygen that they've been wanting. Of course, they've been taking up a lot of momentum just from plays from Pony. But that one, they needed to take away Exalt. They needed to chip away at that defense, chip away at that cat spot, and they were able to finally do it. Finally some momentum, finally some confidence. We get a timeout too. I mean, Disguise, they definitely know good timings for timeouts. I mean, if there's ever a round, Oxygen have a lot of momentum right now.
This is where Ocean comes in and makes slight adjustments that we saw him do in that first map. I think this was around the point as well where Oxygen found 3 rounds in a row. And Disguise had gone 4-0 up. This is the exact moment that Ocean had a word in.
The last time that they took a timeout, only 1 round was won after.
Exactly. So Oxygen, I know that they need to adjust as well. No, they need to make some kind of change now in preparation for what Disguise want to do, but it's anticipating what they will switch up. There's a null command to play with here for Disguise. I didn't get to see the buy fully, but if they have a buy, This might be the round where they elect to use it. Oxygen, though. They've been playing well. Off of the Pony 8 operator, I think has been a key thing for them. He's starting to come alive, and in an instance on the defensive side where he picks up the op 30% of the time, he's finally finding these kills. Finally finding the opening frags that he needs for his team, and giving them advantageous 5v4 situations to win. And he's solo opping out towards me. This is extremely risky, though.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it is just the solo. You would hope some sort of utility could be had, but he just has the fault lines. Disguised, however, not making any moves over toward that area. It's just gonna be the null command to try to make their way into A. They clear out Wine. There's a big rotation. 3 players in the back of A currently. There goes the first flag. There goes the dashes. Pony not able to get anything. Randy Savage has been isolated. Can Randy get anything? Indeed, he gets 1 out of it. And not only that, but we're back to a 3v3.
Door close. Hunter's Fury tried to use by Oxygen. I think they're trying to trade the spike and over. Does a lockdown come through as well? Yes, it does. And Exif, he will utilize it here. There's no Hunter's Fury to break it 3-on-3. But this will buy time. And it pushes them back so far, unless they want to fight. No, it doesn't hit. It does. The shock plus the aftershock. But not enough. As Clear and Gangsta combine for 2. And Mitch.
What?
Sees the barrel of 1 on the wall. Needs the fight. Gets the blind. He has a chance. Mitch, are you kidding me? And a 1-on-1. Bullets to the shoulder. And it's 5 HP for Gangsta to find 6.
I mean, you couldn't explain such an inexplicable situation, right? The flash goes in. The player had the angle. He turns back into the flash to make it into a 1v1. But everything else was marked very, very well by Oxygen. Pulling out that late Cosmic Divide, having the shocks to shut down the lockdown.
When Gangsta's needed most, Gangsta comes up big, I'll be honest. Another aggressive look is going in with a solo rifle.
Ooh.
Same as the pistol, gets shut down. And he wanted to get explosive. They cut him out. I mean, last round, or 2 rounds ago when he was on the op, last 4 rounds, 3 rounds that Oxygen had picked up, he was probably the only reason why they picked up those rounds. And now with no rifle to play with, it's just pistols here, and so Oxygen relied on Pony for the past couple rounds. Does it fall back to Scuba, who, again, has been a big hero player? He has a stinger, and I don't know what it is. Stingers have just been OP lately.
Especially in my hands, Sully.
Yeah, alright.
No, Stingers have, they've been the same this entire time. They've always been good, Sully. You're just doubting. 2v4.
You're also
Do you doubt
cold.
Oxygen?
I do doubt Oxygen.
No, I mean, I don't doubt Oxygen whatsoever. I just doubt your doubts. Because if you doubt the Stinger...
I mean, I doubt you purely because you are in... You have been hard stuck gold for 3x. And, you know,
Listen.
I know the Stinger's good because I am an Ascendant fragger. So I know what good Valorant gameplay looks like. And I know the Stinger has been good lately. The infamous up mine run and gun Stinger. And with no Stingers left in this one.
It's infamous for a reason, okay?
It's Oxygen, back on a full buy. Odin for Randy Savage for a second there, but Disguised. Clean round in the last. Pony back on the operator. Needs to, again, find the impact he had in those 3 rounds they won, because Disguised, I think that the round they won prior to that anti-eco, it had been a quick, not a quick pop, but an ultimate that prevented him from getting out, allowed Clear to get into the space, and with a lot of util dump, open it up. And I mean, this guy's picking up the pace suddenly.
Again, because we just haven't seen it. It's good switch up in timing, but there's 3 people here in this B site. One of them ends up getting a big pick. But as they shift around this B site, I mean, they surely have it on lockdown. They have the KJ. They have the knives out immediately. Disguised, they haven't cleared out any of that util either. They're going straight into A, but there's only one person here.
With one of the few times that Randy Savage plays on the B site, it's a back to an A hit.
That's
Scuba
unfortunate.
Looking to get one. They have the Rolling Thunder behind him to play off of. Scuba tucked in the corner.
Yeah, Randy's mad.
The door gets closed over on the B site. And Mitch, no noise, a quiet walk up. Back to what we're used to, and Steel swings to find Scuba. And this ult is gonna deny the plant, but there's nobody to capitalize off of this from Oxygen.
3 players are here, 2 players are here over towards Heaven, trying to get this peek out, and it works out at least against 1 player who's stunned, but the crossfire is fully thereafter. That attempt just couldn't have worked there for Oxygen. They put everything into that one early rolling thunder, and it all falls apart. It's 8-3 going back to Disguised.
And it feels like the quick tempo change from Disguised was a ruse again. They kind of sacrificed Clear down towards mid, and then just quietly walk in towards the A site. And Mitch, who wanted to use the Rolling Thunder to deny the plan and initiate the retake, the only issue is that no one was in position to quickly push off the Rolling Thunder. You gave time to these Disguised players to reposition, and now we're looking at 8-3 again, possibly a 9.
Let's move.
And we know how critical this round is, because if it pulls away, I mean, Oxygen and a 9-3 deficit feels almost unrecoverable.
The KJ Util was here last round. Would have been pretty efficient, but Disguised, they're not even committing to it.
And Pony out towards mid, could find one as he does spot.
Ooh.
Spot at least one for now. That's Gangsta out in the open and Clear, looking to dash off of this lockdown. Only one player in the back site, and we'll see how long Mitch can hold on to this.
Who knows? He might actually be able to do a lot here. Mitch shifting around.
Dinked.
Yeah, he takes on a lot of damage. But who knows? Who knows still? Flash comes out. Clear looking for him. He's still dodging bullets through the wall. And it didn't matter. Gangsta finally got him. He was dead from the beginning. Disguise, they have the site, but here comes the retake. No ultis to use for either team here in the last round. Zip is able to get one back. You still have Clear looking out for a big spot over towards stairs, but no one's crossing into it. Oxygen are taking their time.
Seal on this late lurk as well. Will catch Randy Savage completely off guard, removing another big avenue on this retake. In the last round of the half, it's Scuba to flick to find one, but Steel, still a rat in this corner, has not been eradicated.
They're dealing with Zip too. Here comes
And
the shotgun.
another from Steel as Scuba ends up taking the bullet. Now just on the Pony. There's no one on the site.
The angle,
They have to rush into him if he can get the headshot, but no. 9-3 as Disguise take the first half, and again, another dominant scoreline.
So utterly dominant, and the trend actually continues in terms of the timeout too. No rounds taken by Oxygen after the timeout from Disguised. And my oh my, Disguised on this attacking side where we wanted to see a lot of that push and pull. We wanted to see that Steel play style once again, that calling play style. It happened. Such slow play in that first half.
And for players on this Oxygen lineup, specifically looking at Scuba, again, has always been consistent, has always been a top fragger for Oxygen side. At 4 and 9, an abysmal look from what we know Scuba to be. Pony has stepped up massively, but where one player steps up, another falls. It's not a worthwhile trade. 2 players towards mid, and Steel up close and personal as Pony goes down to Exalt's trade. And a rework back in towards Catwalk. Already, Ziff not too far away.
Exalt, who had a pace of 60% of rounds that they played on the defensive side of Ascent, getting first kills. This is the map where he could have a whole lot of impact. He's coming out alone, I think, over towards mid. Oxygen, they made their way cleanly into mid. I wanted a little more, but it's just not going to happen. It's going to be a good, organized, slow retake.
Players under Heaven. Great stun from Mitch to slow things down.
Look how slow this is from Exalt.
Is there a dart to follow? Is there aftershock to follow? There is. Slowing them down even further. Buying time and space. And now Disguise have to get a move on. Great knife there to clutch players under Heaven as Mitch goes 1 for 1. Great trades coming through.
Yeah, all 3 are spilling out too. What a shot from Clear. Now Scuba, 1v3, skating around, able to get 1, but a whole lot of damage on the last 2. Not the kills though. The defuse will come in for Disguise, but Oxygen, how many times do we have to say that one was so close?
The hop out from Disguise. A quick play back into the A site. I mean, it's a sacrifice. It goes 1 for 1 as Mitchell, I think, gets 1 and then instantly traded back there by Clear. And that trade was what set them up. Removed one player from under heaven. Had just one player isolated there under there afterwards. From a 4-on-4 instantly to a 3v2. And a scrappy buy for Oxygen. They know the stakes. 3 Stingers, a Spectre, a Sheriff. And an 11th possibly for Disguise if they can't win this. And all honestly, a lower bracket run is what's in the cards now for Oxygen if they're not able to pick up this round.
Standing ahead.
And you could tell how much it means. Every single step. Extremely calculated. Not a single person going for a 1v1. On overstretching for anything. Pull up that util over towards mid. Just trying to see if anyone from Disguised could maybe bite on that.
And they're coming in late towards A. A check back towards A main from Gangsta.
It's going to be the contact from the turret and 2 players ready to execute off of it. They have nano swarms ready too.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, it almost traps them. Double nade back over towards Cap, but it doesn't catch them. Is Oxygen going to try this again? They have a smoke, they have the aftershock, and they're still backing out.
And Exalt still holding this across. The turret's still there to watch. This A main walkout. Exalt. Reliance is on him. Knife to slow down the push as soon as anything comes, and that's the big factor.
Left.
Yeah, they finally have a 3rd person here too. Steel here to help, here to watch the cross, able to get one. He is smoked off though. Teammates are gonna have a bit of trouble. That pre-fire from Pony was perfect. Zip getting 2 does help out the rest of the round, but Oxygen have a chance. Wow!
Clear taken out. No chance there, and now Randy Savage. Looking for another on that Sheriff. It's on to Verno. Must win this round. Just a spray through the smoke.
Don't worry.
And a 3K. A 1-on-2, and he takes them both out. 10-4. Oxygen has saved off that death-defying 11.
Excuse me, run that back. What? Where did that last bullet come from? Aiming up a solid 2 inches from his head. From his body!
And he literally random flick transfers onto a player jumping Jenny.
Wow. I mean, if there's ever a way to get back into the game, there you go, I guess. Entertaining. And leaves Disguised in a reset. And Oxygen, they're using that Steel playbook to their favor. They do nothing. They chill.
Verno. Huge 1v2, man. And now with Oxygen kind of back in the driver's seat, at least momentarily.
Got the spike.
The only issue I'm seeing with this Oxygen offense is the success on the defense came off the operator of Pony. He rarely picks up the operator. Less than 1% of the time does he like to go to the operator here on the attacking side. So for Oxygen, who does that responsibility fall to? Is it Verno, who stepped up massively in the last best of 3 for Oxygen, who was a key player and we know needed to come up big again? Or is it Scuba, who's had a lackluster first half, a lights out first map, but nothing here in the second?
Why not Mitch? Why can't it be Mitch?
We'll have to see Mitch. He's been consistent, always been consistent on Cloud9 here to Oxygen.
30 seconds left.
There's util to clear out, clear. A work
Great
in the
util.
deep,
They
but
can make this a...
there are 3 players here though. That's the thing with the Skies. 3 players stacked into the back of sight where shorties can be deadly.
Yeah, all of this util for Courtyard isn't getting a single player. Again, 3 players in the middle of this site. It is such a deadly crossfire. 2 trades go back and forth, and what a frag from Pony. Finally getting the site back.
And we'll take it over here. The Skies is up with Exalted and Steel. Steel miles away. Exalt looking to maybe kick things off, and he's just like, wait a
He's
minute.
vibing.
He wants to go down. He only had a shorty.
What a legend.
That's why he couldn't do anything. Now Steel. The Steel Classic Potato 1v3.
I see it happening. Why not?
15 kills, his stat track says.
Very good observation.
Let's see how good he is. Potato Steel.
Actually, come on. 1 or 2 exits, come on. Oh,
Peek, man.
boy.
Peek, man.
Peek. Peek
Biggest
again.
kill. Dang it. Had faith in Steel, but that's at least Oxygen for the time being, right? Keeping things in check. Thank goodness it isn't an eco.
Yeah.
But now the full buy back for this guys is Gangsta. Money to buy and own it if he wanted to, but elects to go to the rifle. So no ultimates lined up. We are close on a couple of them, but I don't think they'll come into this round. So Pony needs to step up, needs to be the entry that Clear was on the disguise attack, but he has to be in here for Oxygen.
Okay. Interesting buys coming out from Oxygen, but they dedicate to the rifles.
I think it's mainly because of the fact that you have 3 rounds kind of to work with here. That you want Scuba to have money for the buy no matter what, able to buy your teammates if you lose this round. Quick play over. Pony looking for that entry again.
Ooh, that paranoia is so good. And the angle. He knew that he was going to have to find some high-low here. Steal good coverage with the paranoia, but he might need a whole lot of help. Owl Drone coming in, and Randy Savage in a 1v1 in B main. Ends up winning it out against Clear. There's the help, though. There's Exalt, and around the corner, Steal not spotted, and able to get a kill. Exalt through the wall, through the smoke. Unreal crossfire in mid, shutting all of Oxygen down, except for Mitch. Mitch in a 1v3. He did have some util, but he's fully suppressed. That peek onto Ziff was almost super well timed, but the spike is in his hands. The pace of this round is fully in the hands of Mitch.
I just forgot about Steel in mid. And Mitch is just watching his players fall down one by one. Has the spike and an aftershock and Steel. I would love to see him TP to cancel this plan to give time for his teammates to run out, but he doesn't instead. Rolling Thunder, and that's a threat action. Didn't see that coming. Mitch with that one kill with 6-8, and now
I'm sure they're
has a
thinking about
chance to play with it.
Yeah, if they just come in through 2 different sides, the Rolling Thunder won't be able to hit.
I think it hits both of them, to be honest.
No way. Let's see it, though. Mitch shows out of contact, 75 HP remaining, trying to take down Ziff. Now he's down to 26. He needs to do everything in his power to just get away from these bullets, and it's just not going to happen. This guy's had it just from the mid take, and they end up completing it.
Yeah, I thought Steel TP'd into the back of Boathouse, but that's disguised. Who, in this mid play, like you said, that crossbar just so deadly, but they just forget about Steel here.
Yeah, almost completely.
He threw the paranoia, and they just don't acknowledge him anymore. And Gangsta there to put pressure into those players B main so that there isn't a flank back in towards market. It's enough money to buy, and thankfully Scuba, who did have 3,500 credits with the Spectre, can buy his teammate, and now disguised. Now they're playing with fire. Now there's not a lot of room to work with. Now that you're on 11, or probably just Oxygen don't have much room to work with, now that disguised are on 11.
Clear's got the knives. Can make some big impact. As there's one player over towards tiles, one player in mid. Actually has a crossfire with this. That's weird. Clear. This has to be his! But the wide player model. Off the ulti, ends up getting it. Here comes the Exec. Rolling Thunder into the back of sight. Ziff is fully spotted. Exalt is in heaven. He does have a counter flash, but nobody's going to be able to peek with it. Whoa, what is this? What? Gangsta peeks up from Cat. He's going to be able to get free out of this. He equalizes the round. Gangsta does it.
And already Exalt is on site, so they can't get the spike, but there's the frag, and a big trade.
Ooh.
Steel on this lurk again, but they don't know.
Steel has ulti, so he can try to maybe get information off the TP. But he's just going right in. Inferno has the angle, I mean. There goes the 11. There goes the 6th. I mean, where was the opportunity for disguise? They made it their own.
The Cakes are going in for a crazy 3K, like through a grav well. Just takes down 3 players, and now Oxygen aren't financially reset. They will have enough credits for a buy. Scuba still kind of lackluster in this map, it feels like. I think he's a player that if you can get to turn up, you could see Oxygen maybe pulling this back. I don't want to call it too early, but that's what you feel. Early contact, and it is going to be Exif to try and get something out of it off of that turret. Nothing there, and a quick pop in towards the B site.
Oh, Hunter's Fury to not only get info, but get a whole lot of damage. Pony going in, has an opportunity for 2 frags, but the rotation will come in from Steel. Steel needs to do a whole lot of work, but he's currently 1-weight. He can't do anything in this corner. He's waiting for the cross-up, but he actually gets a big headshot. Pony finally gets the trade, and it's a 2v4.
Yeah. quick exit here from Oxygen. Pony again to lead the charge. Continues to step up for this Oxygen lineup.
Wow.
Inferno through the wall. Wow, okay, there you go, Oxygen. It feels now a lot of these players starting to click, especially between Mitch and Verno. Both players coming alive. When their team is, their lifeline in the upper bracket is coming to a halt. But it's Pony over and over again on this double entry, creating so much space. And now,
I thought that, I thought before the tournament, the impact would come from players like Mitch, but he's finally back, right?
Finally back, coming up decently massive. 10 assists, right? He's
10 assists, man.
Doing his job. Disguised. A lockdown to play with, and they're leaving mid completely open. There's actually nobody towards his market side. And an early knife will now allow, at least for now, Gangsta to reposition. Turret spots out clear, and he backs away. Takes this aggressive op angle. The rest of his team begins to shift. But this is where Oxygen are coming. Perhaps a read into the fact that the Pony op will call for players to rotate. I think
Do they have any idea?
Yeah, I think he knows. Pings it already. Wants to put a star to either ground up and cuss him. It does. Cuss to get clear off the angle.
But Clear's gonna be able to readjust here. I think he might have gotten spotted, but I don't think it matters. The lockdown in. He's still hoping for a peek here. He's still hoping for a pixel, and indeed is gonna get that opportunity. Clear with a big frag, but it's just the one. Oxygen should have sight, but the lockdown goes in. 3 players haven't crossed yet. Only one hasn't. He's going for the plant.
And there's Hunter's Fury here for Oxygen. They do get the plant, and that's Scuba. Scuba alone on the site. Mitch.
Do they know how many people are on site?
Big kill back. Pony tucked in towards logs. All 4 players grouped up in front of B main or in B main.
I mean, they have no idea how many of these players are here. It's just the element of surprise. Finally, 2 players making it over towards site, but they have the flank. Verno takes down Steel. Disguised are now down to 2. Do they even go for it?
They have to back away. Oh, picked up already. I can't imagine Oxygen finding a way to recover that.
Okay.
Only 1 player gets to sight, and the rest, they just prevent Disguise from stepping foot. Nobody gets out of spawn. And Oxygen continuing this comeback story, keeping themselves once more alive here in the series.
Yeah, definitely need a second look at the utility at the start of that take, especially because we just didn't see a smoke back over towards B main, and also those players just did not want to cross over towards site. And this is a big, big timeout. Late game. Disguised looking to close it out, but again, going towards that replay, if we can ever get it, but going towards that play, just, man, Oxygen. They had all the space in the world to potentially make it over to short, but they just didn't.
And this time it's Steel calling the timeout instead of Ocean. We'll see, again, if the theme of timeout, no rounds after, like they had in the first half, if this timeout will be enough to put Disguised over the line.
I mean, there's a lot of minds on this team. I mean, you got the coach, you also have Steel. I mean, if there's ever a time now where Disguise could kind of change up that tempo, it would be now. I mean, we haven't seen some of those one-off attempts to try to get, you know, deeper picks. It could be now where Clear is finally let go.
All picked up for him. Once again, Clear, who found almost a nearly impeccable double in the last. A full switch up, a full mid play, knife towards top mid. They want outside B, and they see nothing. They have to know this is an A hit, but nobody moves. And with the lesser guns, what can you do here?
It's very slow. It's very, very quiet. Finally, the peak happened, but look how many players are here. It's just unbelievable. 5 players, they all have the contact. But how many players are here on site? How many players can actually get a kill on? Pony has free line of sight over towards Cat. How does that kill go into heaven? Verno with a shot through the wall. Zip is in the back of sight using a lockdown. Nobody is in the back of sight for Oxygen in Disguised. They shut that all down with only 2 kills. It was just so tough for Oxygen to make that cross, but with so many players, it's pretty obvious.
Still winnable here, though. As Disguised.
Here.
3 versus 3, and here they come. Exif. Back towards Cap, but they actually go the other way. The head doesn't get spotted, so he doesn't know that these players have crossed towards mid. And Clear, completely oblivious to this kind of play.
30 seconds left.
Maybe Clear will hear something, but this is the sort of spot where you want the Opper hard holding an angle.
This is the only place they could be now, and with this start comes out
no.
Clear. He doesn't spin back. He
What?
takes full B main control
Clear.
instead, and will give Oxygen at least the sight for now. Clear, maintaining B main. Checks,
comes
sees
back.
nothing.
10 seconds left.
It looks like they just didn't know the recon was there. Clear is coming back. It's going to be that full 3v3. But with the Hunter's Fury, there's no way they could readjust him back into B main. Full control here for Disguise. They even use a turret to try to cover their flank.
Nowhere to run!
But the Hunter's Fury comes out so early. Clear, forced into action. There's one player up front. There's an Astra maybe looking to push, but it's just not going to happen. Hunter's Fury does take a little bit of damage off of Clear, but here comes the crossfire finally. Clear looking for an angle, not able to find anything. Kill onto Gangsta. Ziff down to 17. And Oxygen might have just put themselves back into regulation.
And what a way it would have been if it would have been one of these ecos, right? Where the op is saved, the rifle is saved. They stave off the 12. And a slow walk up. I mean, Oxygen have been playing the Disguise style, the steal style for these past couple of rounds. Slow kind of walk up contact hits into these
That's what I'm
sites. And
saying.
it's been held back by Disguise in that last round. But they do it again back towards mid. Where at the last second, where there's no time for Disguise to rotate. Oxygen putting on the 9th. Disguise. They have rifles. The op still for Clear to work with. But they are running out of time. The adaptation worked in that last round. Can they replicate it here again?
Oh. Do they know that it's a double? Clear's behind this. Not going to do anything with it. So the play style is set once again, where Oxygen holds on to the brakes, looking for any sort of opportunity to get into a site. And they're going to make one themselves. Owl Drone going in just to get some information. Maybe bait in a rotation, bait in a contact.
Result does end up dodging. So he has a nanostorm out in front, has 2 flashes, a knife here to cancel the exec in a second. But Oxygen, they end up backing away. That knife checks nothing, sees nothing.
Ooh.
But it's a re-hit here. That's what they wanted to do. And this could be the demise here of Disguise on the A site. 45 seconds left. Keep note of the time here as Pony starts to work his way up.
Here.
It's up to these individual fights between A main and Garden.
Yeah, the smoke in mid, it does everything they need. Close up into Cat. They can scale in with the fault line.
My bot.
They are through. Only one person in the back of A that could be able to get a pick here. Exalt is not getting smoked out, so he could actually get one and done. One and move out. And no way! Randy Savage is the one that gets the pick there. Pick coming back for Clear. Could get a few more.
And Rolling Thunder here online as well for Oxygen. And they're going to use it.
Oh, it goes
Actually
early.
gets everybody.
Pony.
Ziff gets knocked as well. That is so much space for Oxygen.
But what do they get out of it? They get a flash in too. Pony finally takes down Zip. They isolate the last 2 into heaven.
And Scuba just tucked underneath. Gangsta just spamming. It's another save here from
Do they leave with the
Disguise.
op?
I think they have to. What? That's like almost 7,000 credits that they picked up the Odin as well. And they're going hunting. They want these kills. They can't let them get away.
Big frag.
And Gangsta skates by with
They
one.
hurt him.
And Scuba knows, and Steel's watching. I think Scuba can go down here. It's fine to go for the honey. You get one, it's worth it. They don't check! Steel!
Oh,
At least
he
holds on to
saves
the
it.
operator.
Good
Just-
stuff.
Literally just barely.
Wow. Wow. But don't think Steel could see that angle there. Doesn't matter. The rest of this take, though, the knife doesn't see anything. They take full advantage as there's only one here. But the retake for Cat was such a good attempt. The Rolling Thunder, they had a jet on the front line. Players able to punish off the Rolling Thunder. Now we're on to the next. We're Disguised. They might just be giving up an 11.
Soundbot out.
I've seen the steal op before when he was on 100 Thieves and when he was on T1. Here, we are in for a treat.
Here.
The steal operator out towards mid. And Clear is, I presume, there to pick it up off his dead body and go down.
Why dead?
Because the steal operator is actually sometimes incredibly inefficient. Because he's holding an angle, especially when he played KJ, it was a little more viable, but in the Omen, he holds an angle, and he has to smoke is the only problem. So he has to come off the angle and off the scope, losing almost all the control there.
He is rotating quite early, though, so let's not doubt full steal. Let's not doubt it. But the first pick potential is a lot more difficult on the Omen. Can be a little bit more mobile just off of the TP. Let's see what Steel does. Peeking out of the smoke.
Okay, Steel.
Able to get the one. TPing into the back of sight. Looking to help out the rest of the team. Nobody is out in the middle of the open for Disguise. 3 players in the back of sight, and it's working. Zip gets a big headshot on the ball.
Clear!
Clearing him out, getting 2 through the smoke, and he even gets the 3rd. Disguised 1 away from challengers.
And where I doubted Steel, he comes up, gets into sight, and delays. I mean, Steel's op, ineffective sometimes, but he gets 1. That's all you needed. That's all you wanted from Steel. Never doubt NA's best. And Clear there to just clean things up as soon as Steel gets that kill. And you can see the impact it has.
Placing swarm grenade.
It is such a nice delay. And now Oxygen. Now Oxygen.
Uh-oh.
They had room to work with. Now they don't. It's one mess up and they're out.
No setup on B, though. There's only 1 person here. They're going for a big mid play to try to shut this down, and they might have found the gap. Everyone for this team is over towards the B side. Clear finds 1, and definitely found a lot more in terms of a contact. The call out is there that they're all B.
But that's mid play worked, and they're funneling into again.
KJ's over rotating.
The steal up, the stop. And he holds.
Well, there's a reason why. They have the jet in the middle of spawn. Full control of the rotations here for Disguised.
Yeah, and I think Scuba's pretty wary of it. He did a jump spot, didn't see anything, and Clear.
Oh.
Not fully aware that mid is clear. We'll have to come back for a second. Verno, he hears the drone, so he knows, okay, we have a lot of space.
Ooh.
These guys have so much space on this map. And Clear makes the early rotate. And I think this will cause a shift for at least one of these Disguised players to make a rotate over. And it should be here soon, as soon as Clear makes his contact.
Whoa.
The util comes up almost instantly. And he gets 1. Unbelievable from Clear.
Just great timing. There was no way that Pony expected that. Now Oxygen. Scared of A main, redirecting back over towards Cat.
30 seconds left.
And it might just be a double threat here. The Jet can easily peek with this. Zip is going to have the first contact. Here we go. Cosmic Divide in, fault line in, and Clear's only able to get 1 out of it. Zip!
Spike down.
Hands of Steel, holding on to Cat. Holding on from behind that aftershock, and now Scuba in a 1v1. Does he have any idea that there's a man back sight? Has no idea! Disguise Toast has made it to Challengers.
The redemption arc of Seal has only just begun. From team to team, again,